All right. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Let's see. All right, welcome, welcome. It is Monday, November 3rd. So this is the first Monday of the month. So we're doing our Monday live stream, our first Monday of the month live stream. Right now, for some reason, it's called October. Let me see if I can edit that. November. There we go. Save. Excellent. We're live on YouTube also, I think. I'm not completely sure. Never really quite exactly sure with that. But no worries. So in case you didn't see my post, I won't assume that everyone did, that we're going to do something similar to what we did in October. I got a lot of good, well, I got a good bit of good feedback on it and no negative feedback. So I'm going to take that to mean that, unless I hear otherwise, that that's the type of content that people really like. So we're going to do something very similar, where, we have about an hour and a half, a little bit longer. So I am going to uh, go through people's websites, answer detailed questions. We can do a deep dive, or whatever you want to do. So we're going to give 10 minutes to people. And what that means is at the end of that 10 minutes, then obviously we'll be done. But until we get there, like this floor is yours. We'll look at your website, we'll share screens, we'll do whatever we need to do for that 10 minutes to get a real deep dive rather than just do a bunch of surface level questions. So we'll just go through whoever has their hands up, we'll go through one at a time until we get there. And yeah, so anybody want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, Stephen.
How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm always good when you're on. So I've just done a new gutter cleaning website. I've just stuck it in the chat. Oh, did it go across?
Yep, I see it.
So it's only literally been up since September. It's all good with schema, it's all good with everything else. Throwing Google Ads at it. I really have one question for you actually.
Yep.
And that is I've got a location, I've got an office location with GBP, which is verified. My question to you is when you're in your Google Business profile, you have your location. So if you go into you edit your profile, you have the option to have a service area. Now,
Yep.
if your business is already verified for location in Nottingham in the UK, do I not put anything in that service area, or do I just put the town Nottingham?
Yeah. So you should fill out that service area, mainly just because we want to fill out every box in the GBP. So fill out the service area. There are several tools online that will help you find zip codes in a radius around an address. You can put in a bunch of zip codes, stuff like that. This is an activity that you should spend like 5 minutes on at the most, and then move on with your life.
The, re- the reason I
What's that?
asked that is I used to have Nottingham, and then I used to have all the suburbs within and around Nottingham in that service area. But for some reason, 4, 5, 6 weeks, looking at my business through Local Dominator, my rankings were I just wasn't coming up to speed, even though everything is done with posts, pictures, geotagging, Q&As. I mean, I've been literally on it.
Yeah. So the service area is not a huge ranking factor. You should fill it
No,
out,
correct.
but it's
Yeah.
not a huge ranking factor. I know this because we manage a lot of clients. We manage a lot of their GBPs, and every once in a while we have a client who won't pay their bill for whatever reason, which gives us an opportunity for some split testing.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I know, right, if you have a GBP and it's located in California and you update the service area to be Manhattan, it does not impact the ranking in California even a little bit. It just doesn't affect it.
Okay.
That being said, still fill it out. Beyond that, then if you're still not ranking, it's not the service area is not going to help you rank all of a sudden if you're not, right?
No, of course not.
So I did a site colon search on your website. There's 164 results. That's a lot. That's a lot of results. That's a very big website, especially for right gutter cleaning in Nottingham. I don't know off the top of my head if that's a super competitive space or not, but my feel is that it's not super competitive.
No, it's
Uh,
not.
so I'm trying to find here. I guess I can share screen. We'll see. We'll do it like this. I'm trying to find your GBP. What's the business name?
Gutter cleaned.
Oh, so it is just gutter cleaned. Gutter cleaned Nottingham then. Is it any of these?
No,
No. Okay. Gutter cleaning. Okay, it corrected it for me. That's not what I want.
no. Yeah, it's gutter cleaned. It should be in that. If you keep scrolling, it should come in.
Well, because I also searched for your phone number and didn't find it, which is unusual. That often implies that the phone number is different on the GBP.
No, it's not. It's the same.
Is that it here? Gutter clean?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. So this is the phone number search and no luck. So usually when I do, maybe it's different because this is the UK. Let's search for that. Yeah, I can't find it.
That's really bizarre. So
Yeah, so it's not a good sign if we can't find it with a brand search, right? Gutter cleaned Nottingham. That is correct. Yeah, it's no, I want gutter cleaned. I
there
did
it.
not mean gutter cleaning.
So there's the website. I put a link in the chat for the gutter my Google business profile.
All right.
If
Now I
that
got
will
to try to figure out how to pull the chat up.
help.
Here we go. Chat. Oh, that's the website.
Apologies.
Yeah, you'd already sent that. Well, let us come in. We'll
It's
go
definitely
GBP.
there when I search.
We'll go new gutter cleaned, and
Yeah,
it's almost certainly not going to be able to find it. So city is Nottingham.
yeah,
Search again.
there it
There it
is.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll do keywords. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yep, that should be fine. All right.
Cool.
Yeah. So the site is large. So my first, have you been posting a lot of blog posts?
No, I removed all blog posts that were on this site because they were all built like your recommendation. They're all built slop chat GPT back in the day. So I removed them all and then served all the URLs to 410 gone through HT access. So no, there's a reason there's a lot of pages. If you go on locations, I've written about gutter cleaning in location for all the
Gotcha.
locations. And then if you went into that location, then there's the services we provide for that location. And then there's a link on this page that links you to the actual gutter cleaning page for the park, which is on the bottom. Go down a bit. The first one, it says gutter cleaning in that big orange block. Go back up. Keep going up. Keep going. There, the gutter cleaning. The first one, go down. The first
Oh,
orange one. If you click on
here.
that, that then takes you to the gutter cleaning page for that area.
Gotcha. And these are different, what? Are these cities?
Districts within Nottingham.
Districts within Nottingham. So
I'll print them here and send them out.
we'll mute. All right. Okay, so this rank map is not bad, Stephen. This isn't a bad
No,
rank
it's
map.
not. No, it's not bad.
Uh, Making some good progress. And you're third on average rank. I'm not sure why the Google search I couldn't find you. Probably something with the UK.
Yeah,
But 17% top three, not bad. And you can see, this is what we're obviously going for. This hope, which, yeah, gorgeous, right? Man, that's
yeah.
pretty. Um, okay, so let's talk about what I would do to get you there. So 17% top three, that puts you fourth, I think, because obviously Ryan is beating you here. But
Yeah,
so many of these are so freaking close.
are they?
So I would look at your GBP, which I haven't been able to pull up. Is this going to pull it up for me? Yeah, okay, good. This pulls it up. So I would look at your GBP, and I wish the yeah, you do have it claimed. I don't know. This shows up sometimes even after it's been claimed, which usually this is a sign that it hasn't been claimed, but that's not the case here.
No, it's not.
But I want GBP everywhere, and I want gutter cleaned Nottingham. So the first step that we would, and there's hope again, right? So
Yeah,
the first step that we would do is go through this and make sure that you have categories and services chosen. So I'm just going to look
I
at
have.
hope here.
I have. So what I've done is got the services on the GBP. I've also created those services on my website under services, and then linked the services to the GBP under products. So I've created a product page with the link of the services.
Yeah, the product page on the GBP doesn't do much.
No, I know it doesn't, but it's just
But
ticking the boxes. It's just filling in everything.
yeah, so if I look at your homepage, what I want to see on your homepage is that. So what's the primary category?
Got a cleaning service.
Perfect. And then you have a secondary category of
No, I don't have one.
no
Because
secondary category.
the only option there is gutter service as a secondary category, and
Right.
that's more related to fixing and repairing, which we don't do.
Correct. Okay, so gutter cleaning service, you got that in the title tag, you got it in the H1 tag.
Yeah,
Perfect. So think a lot of this for some reason to me, Stephen, this website just looks very cluttered. Like it looks very overwhelming to me. So I don't know, like usually just a little bit simpler. You have all of these like buttons and columns and things I'm not a designer, but it just, to me, I feel kind of overwhelmed just looking at it. This
yeah,
kind of looks like it's an Angie's List page or something because they have this sort of like all these boxes and columns and things. So that might be something to think about is just to simplify this a little bit. The hero image is so small. A normal, like most of the local business websites that we see, like it's a big hero image, it has an H1 tag, and then there's text below it. Like this just looks like a franchise page or an Angie's List page or something like that. But anyway, um, I like seeing our services instead of these buttons. What we usually almost always prefer to do is have the H2, the subheadings, and then 50 to 100 words about it, and then put
yeah,
an editorial link in that paragraph of content rather than these buttons.
yeah,
It'll put more words on the page. It'll make it a little bit easier to see. This why choose, I'd probably move that up. Remember, our target is goal completion. So you do say, fully insured, that's great. You have the price, that's great. But I might move this higher. We're going for goal completion. We want to get that person to convert as fast as possible. We have maybe 30 to 45 seconds after they land on this page for them
yeah.
to actually convert.
Hmm.
And I like this, how we clean, but again, I might think about doing this vertically rather than horizontally. I don't know what
Sure.
this looks like on mobile devices, but most of your traffic is going to be on a mobile device.
Correct.
It's pretty common, right? We see web designers will pretty often design in desktop and then make sure it looks okay in mobile. It needs to be the other way around. It needs to be designed in mobile and then make sure it looks okay in desktop. Most
Sure.
of your users will be on mobile and
Yeah, I
Googlebot will
totally
be
agree.
mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one of the reasons that this type of layout often doesn't work very well is because it can fall apart in mobile. But again,
No, it
I'm
works
obviously
fine
looking at
on
the
mobile.
desktop. So what's
Yeah,
that?
it works fine on mobile.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's good. I like the pricing. The reviews, I would definitely just embed some of your GBP reviews on here. I know that can work. This areas we cover, you can keep this, you can get rid of this. This won't do anything, but it also probably won't hurt you much. And then what I would suggest is making these answers a little bit longer. Maybe make it like 4 or 5 sentences instead of one.
Yeah.
And then I would get rid of this accordion, right? Google provides so much weight on content that's visible when the page first loads that this accordion just doesn't do that much, right? It hurts us.
Yeah.
And so this is just a Google map. I want to see the GBP embed. So
Yeah,
we
which
can
is
do
at the
that pretty
bottom.
simple. We can do
Yeah,
that
it's at
pretty
the bottom.
easily.
I put it in the footer. Yeah, I've already done that embed. It's in the footer.
Oh, well, we can just move it or get rid of this or move this
Yeah,
over
yeah,
to here. Yeah. Something. Those are all relatively small. So if I come into the service pages, so this is a big nav bar, right? We generally try to keep as much smaller nav bar because the more links we have in the nav bar, the less authority we're passing around. Don't go crazy with it. It's not super critical, but this is just a large nav bar. If I click on services, I get taken to here. Okay. And then if I click on an actual service page, okay. URL structure doesn't much matter. So yeah, again, I mean, this just looks fairly busy and it's a lot of good content. I just might want to reorganize it into more of like top down. Because this is pretty thin, right? There's not very much content on here. It's a lot of information. It's really good for a user, but there's not very much for Google. Like if I do a quick check just to see how many words of content are on this page. Yeah, and this is obviously including the footer, we're at 650 words. So that's
yeah.
pretty thin.
Yeah, it's on
So
borderline. I appreciate that.
what's that?
It's on borderline. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So I would certainly want to add, a little bit more content talking about the different services. I don't know if the other ones are similar. And certainly when I looked at the location page, I would also check the same type of thing. Like this looks like a really small page. And I mean, years ago, fine, whatever, but you got AI now, so the content is nearly free, right? So this is a lot longer, but I don't like all of these. So no one is ever going to see this, right?
No,
This
correct.
page exists for Google. Oh, this is a different page.
I mean, the reason I built this site, because I built it all and I host it all, is really for throwing ads at it, and it's doing well on Google Ads. But also I want it to rank up in GBP, and then I'll monitor it. And if I need to make adjustments, we'll make adjustments.
Yeah, and honestly, like the pages that do well organically will rarely do well in ads and vice versa.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
generally for ads, like we'd run ads to a subdomain or a different folder or something like that. We would
Mhm.
rarely run Google Ads to like an organic homepage because we need a lot of content on an organic homepage to get it
Yeah,
to rank. But
yeah,
if you put a lot of content on a page that you're running ads to, then your conversions will be terrible,
yeah.
right? So usually we separate the two. We don't run ads to our organic
Correct.
page and we don't try to rank an ads page.
Yeah,
So I'm not super familiar with this geography, but I would want this average rank to be in the top three. I would want this a little bit higher. So that's where we're going to go and focus on that topical content about all of the different services, make it a little bit longer, more in depth, more comprehensive. Make sure that you have links sourced to those. If you just publish a bunch of content with no links, that starts to it
yeah,
often doesn't work to rank because content is so inexpensive these days. So
yeah.
once you've done that, the way that we approach these location pages, right? So I'm going to look for fours, fives, and you've done something like this. So I have this Portchester, right? Um, I'm pretty sure that's Portchester. The four is in the way.
That's right. Yeah,
Um, yeah. So what I would write is my target keyword would be gutter cleaning Portchester, Nottingham,
yeah.
right? Because we don't want Google to think that, like if I come to the location pages, we don't want Google to think that you're creating a bunch of city gate pages because that's considered spam and Google updated its
Yeah.
algorithm
If you
August
search,
to account
you'll
for
find
that.
Portchester in that list.
Sorry?
If you search in the search bar, you'd find Portchester in that list.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's why I'm saying the target keyword, right? So I want to
Mhm.
include Nottingham in that target keyword because your address is still Nottingham.
Yeah,
So here's Portchester, and uh, Portchester service area gutter clean. So that's not the great. So this implies that your target keyword is Portchester service area, when your
sure.
target keyword should be gutter cleaning Portchester, Nottingham.
Yeah. If you went to the gutter cleaning page on that link again, obviously there is a link to gutter cleaning Portchester, but it doesn't say gutter cleaning Portchester, Nottingham.
So I'm so confused. How many different pages about Portchester did you make? Because we really only need one for the primary category.
Yeah, I did. There's a landing page for location Portchester, so I'm just trying to get more content. It's a test. I'm just testing it. And then if
But
you
we
went
don't
on
need more content, right? We need the right content. Like
through,
if I look at Hope, I'll look at Hope, I'll look at Shiny, and then I'll look at Ryan's because these are the three that are beating you.
yeah,
Um, so they have 57, so a third the size of your site. They have 34, so that's a fifth the size of your site. And they have 9. So that's 1/15th the size of your site. So my
hmm
point with this, Stephen, more content isn't what you need, right?
hmm
If anything, you have more content than you should have. Your site is an outlier because of how much content you have. More isn't the answer. What we need to do is target the content for the right topical and geographical relevance, right? All three of these sites, like they have more top three. Your average rank is better, but they have more top three. And look at Hope, right? They have a third the content that you do. More content isn't going to turn your rank map to look like theirs. That's not the dilemma you're having.
But
Am I making sense?
my question is, he's been going 20 years. My site's been up 2 months.
So age is like riding the ride at Disney World, right? You must be at least this tall to ride this ride. And that's in the neighborhood of 3 to 6 months. Once you're older than that, being 20 years old or 6 months old, no real difference.
Sure.
So, you're 2 months. So maybe if you just wait a few months, you'll start to see this as it just gets a couple of months
It needs to
of more
mature.
age on it.
Yeah.
That might be the big thing that will drive it. But I really think, right? So as I was saying with that Portchester, that page feels like it's not targeting the right keyword. It's just targeting Portchester in general. And what we're doing with topical relevance is, right, we want to convince Google that you do this service, whether gutter cleaning, whatever else, right?
Mhm.
And once we see a lot of this map turning green, that tells me that we have successfully shown Google that you do this service, and Google trusts that you do this service. And
Yeah.
because of how high your average rank position is, right, you don't have much in the top three, 17%, it's pretty good, but you have so much in the yellow. So I'd
hmm
be awfully tempted to say Google trusts that you do gutter cleaning. The
Yeah.
problem is Google doesn't trust that you do gutter cleaning here. So
hmm
the goal of this location page is to tell Google, I do gutter cleaning right here. So we want to write an article about that location, talk about gutter cleaning at that location, show images of clients, gutters
Yeah.
at that location, which obviously you can fake with AI generated images and you can geotag them with whatever you want and put that on there and upload them to the GBP. And you'll give driving directions. Hey, so this article or the Portchester one, whichever one, the article topic is, hey, we're based in Nottingham, but we clean gutters in Bulwell all the time. Here's the driving route that my techs take. Here's some before and after photos. We
Yeah.
love Bulwell. The drive isn't bad. We take the 8th 6:30 and then we get off. So it's all about us telling Google that you love driving to this location to clean gutters. Like that's something you 100% will do all the time. Am I making, and if I look at your location pages, that's not what this is doing. Am I making sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So when you say write something about it, you're talking about doing a blog on it or a case study?
Not necessarily a blog or a case study, but when we're writing content with AI, we always start by making sure AI knows what our target keyword is. So
Sure.
that's why I'm saying with our target keyword, and you can go and you can look at the single page content prompt. I can't remember if you're a pro member, but
I
we
am.
have a multi.
Yeah, I
Okay,
am.
perfect. So look
Yeah.
in the pro, go to the lesson. It's for like Caleb's copywriting training. It's the
Hmm.
actual internal training that I built for my agency's copywriting team. And we have a multi-step process to write content where we start with a bunch of prompts for the outline, and then we fill in that outline for each individual client. And you'll see that we have a geographical content outline
Sure.
prompt, and there's specific pieces of information that you should gather. Let me just pull it up. Do you guys want me to like you? I'll show you guys are here. I'll just show you what that looks like. It's going to take me 1 second to find it. Copy. There it is. Boom. Loading. Loading. Okay, so now I'll share this. Okay, so the sheet, so it starts with these directions. Like this is how we do AI copywriting, and then
Hmm.
there's a little Loom link every step of the way for it's a recording of me doing this process. So hopefully it makes it super clear. So okay, if we wanted to write a neighborhood page, that's geographical content, then we need to know the city state, we need to know the target keyword, and we need to know the primary category. Perfect, we have all that information. Then we're going to come into the prompts and we're going to grab the prompt for the neighborhood page outline. And what this prompt will basically do is get the AI to give us an outline based on that information that will have, all of the different subheadings, headings that talks about this specific geography, the benefit, the audience, the local details, all of this information, and then we'll take that outline and we'll give it to this, which is our general prompt for writing. And we have one of these for every client where we'll give the AI the GBP information, the about information, all the relevant information about this client. And then we drop the outline in, and it's just going to go through and it's going to write an article targeting that specific geographical area. So it's not a blog post, it's a very specific article targeting that primary category in that location to build the geographical relevance, to show Google, hey, we clean gutters in that neighborhood.
Sure.
Does that make sense? Am I making
Yeah,
sense with that,
absolutely.
Stephen?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. So that's what I would think about because I would not publish more content. You don't need more content. I would go through and edit the content that you have to just be very tightly focused on those specific target keywords for those different geographies.
Sure. Regardless if there's relevance searches or not, because some areas don't have any searches for gutter cleaning, whereas Nottingham
Ah,
does.
if the area has no relevance, then don't worry about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do have that also. I can't remember if that's in the prompt library or not, but in the pro group, it is in the prompt library. So for those of you guys who have it, it is where you can download the rank data as a CSV and give that to AI, and then AI will give you a prioritized list of locations based on, we're looking for fours, fives, and sixes, but we're also looking for actual demographics of, how many people live there, is that a solid target, things like that. So it sort of has AI crunch that demographic data combined with the rank map data to prioritize what locations should we target.
Question for you quickly before I go. The lead snap, is that the most accurate tool to use for looking at?
Yeah, Lead Snap is the one that we use.
Okay.
And I've had conversations with Patrick about the accuracy. We've benchmarked it against a few other tools. None of them are going to be one to one exactly the
Yeah,
same
sure.
rank map, of course. Um, and it's funny. One of the things that Patrick said, which Patrick, by the way, he owns LeadSnap, which stuck with me is everyone thinks the most accurate tool is the one that shows the rank map looking the best. Which, yeah, I mean, of course, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're all going to give something different. I know Patrick puts the emphasis on accuracy above any other tools or features, and he's in
Sure.
the process of rolling out a significant upgrade to the accuracy of it. Um, LeadSnap has almost always been pretty consistent to what actual searches in those IP addresses show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so let me get
Yes.
so Jason had some graphic design feedback for you. Great. Okay. And then Alan, does geotagging really work? Yes, I firmly believe geotagging really works. You're absolutely right that Google erases geotag data on photos that are uploaded to the GBP. Google does that so it doesn't dox you, right? Google doesn't want people to be able to download the images from your GBP and then figure out where all those images are taken. So yes, all of the metadata is scrubbed when you upload images to the GBP, not just geotag, all of the metadata. But Google still knows where those images were originally geotagged, just like if you have a service area business, right? So you have a business with no visible address. There is no way on the GBP interface that you can see what address that GBP was originally verified on. But Google still knows what that address is because if you go to add an address, if you add the same address it was verified on, you usually will not need to re-verify it. But if you add a different address, you'll almost always need to re-verify it. So Google still knows the geotag data. It still knows the address. And I have seen so many times that if we drip feed geotagged images on a weekly basis, that will move the rank needle positive. So we do that for every client. Okay, perfect. Also, if I'm helping bankruptcy attorneys in a very large area, but services, blah, 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 yeah. So one of the primary rank factors for a GBP is proximity. So if you have the ability to have additional GBPs closer to where you're trying to rank, that's the goal. The farther away you get, the more competitive it is, the harder and harder it is going to be to get that GBP ranked. Proximity is a very important rank factor. Michael, go ahead and put your hand up and we'll get to there. And Virgil, you have your hand up, so we'll get to you. Jay, what's going on, Jay? What you got for me?
I got a question and a possibility.
Excellent.
I spent some time, I've got several locations, and I took one of the locations, used all my keywords, and just, I'm not going to say plastered them in, I used them moderately in all the descriptions. I did that about 2.5 weeks ago, and I watched me go from 20 to ones, twos, and threes just by that. But one of the other things I did was the number of services I had went from roughly probably 40 up to I think 130. And between the two of the things, just really took off on that city. Now I'm trying them with other cities now, make sure that's what it is. Is that the correct way it's supposed to work? I guess I'm asking if I'm doing it right.
Right. So I want to be clear. So what did you do with the images that caused your ranking to get that better? You added what, metadata?
These are just descriptions on the services.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay.
And
Yep.
then I didn't load them, but I mean, I put it in chat and I basically said, hey, keep them Google sensitive, or best practices.
Yeah. Great.
And
That's awesome.
that and increasing the number of services, even looking out for what I guess are called LSIs or whatever, but changing the word from clean to drain, plumber, clean to drain to clearing a drain to drain clogged. Those are all different, but they're all the same. But Google apparently likes it.
Google does like it. Yes, it does.
Okay, so that was the correct way to go. And if I write articles into my smaller areas that I'm missing, those get posted to the GBP and then linked into the website. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
When you're writing articles to increase like a certain neighborhood,
Yep.
does that get posted to the GBP
No,
under posts?
just to the website. So you will do a weekly GBP post, but not a full article. The GBP posts are going to be like 50 words, maybe 100 words, something like that. Not super long. And those you'll just use a GBP management software, or you can do it manually, and you just put a GBP post in once a week.
Yeah, I'm doing that through GHL. So I was just trying to figure out the articles, how Google's going to see that town on the GBP.
Yeah, so when you publish those articles, then you're going to add an external link, or you're going to add an external link to the new article. That'll get Google to crawl the article and see it. You're also going to update one of the other pages on your website and add an internal link to the new article. Those two combined will get Google to crawl it almost all of the time.
Okay, that's what I need to hear.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear that you're having some success just by getting the GBP updated. That's awesome. Usually the sign of a fairly low competition area, and that's one of the reasons when we start with a new client, we're always going to do the GBP audit. And the clear goal, the first goal of that GBP audit, hey, let's make sure the services and the categories are selected and correct. And the next goal is let's make sure every single box on the GBP is filled out. And then the third goal is let's make sure they have images and GBP posts going out on an ongoing basis. And very often, just by making sure that the GBP is being managed appropriately like that, we'll see significant rank gains and we won't have to do anything at all. When we combine that with the GBP landing page edits, right, where we're going to go onto the website, the GBP landing page, and we'll make sure that that landing page talks about the primary category, the secondary categories, and the core services that we really care about. Yeah, I mean, we'll for a lot of the YouTube video I recently published about it, I call it the lazy ranking method, but it's not really lazy. It's just what all that most local businesses need, right? You can get 50, 60% top three just by doing those things. And then you don't really need to do this whole core 30 big content push unless it's a very competitive space or you want to rank even better. Yeah. All right. Virgil, what you got for me?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, so um I have this local blog that I'm putting together. Let me put the URL. Maybe you could look at it. What I want to do is be able to offer local business backlinks from this blog. What's to their business. And
So I'm getting an error trying to load
oh,
it.
sorry. Is it? Is it an error?
Yeah, I think there's a typo in the domain.
Okay.
Yeah. So you missed the first A in Hawaii, I'm guessing. But anyway, I've got it loaded up now.
Okay. So what I want to do is offer a backlink to a local business saying, how great your business is and so forth. And I want to be able to offer them some kind of like authority in what they do for their business.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can give me some suggestions on how to make this work or what I'm doing wrong or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the processes that we use to source links, right? So for a local business website, there are two types of links that we really want to go after. One of those, we call it the "This is not AI slop" link, where we're really just, hey, we just need a decent link. It doesn't need to be very good. It doesn't need to be awesome.
Yeah.
It just needs to be, good enough just to show Google that, hey, this content is good enough that somebody linked to it. Okay. The not slop. The other type of link that we seek is a local authority link. And that's where we want Google to trust that it's a local business, that people use that local business, that it's authoritative business, et cetera. So when we're looking for those types of links, we're typically trying to find well-established local organizations. And generally speaking, it's mostly well-established local organizations that are looking for sponsorships. So things like the youth sports team is a great example, the local chamber of commerce, things like that. And links from that are incredibly powerful for local SEO. So your question then, if I think about it in that context, is does my website, what's happening in Hawaii, does that qualify as that second type of local authority link? And right now, the answer to that question is it does not seem to, right? It's a pretty small website. I did the site colon search. I can share my screen actually. Um, yeah, so this is the site, right, Virgil?
I yes, that's
Perfect.
a site.
So I did the site colon search and saw 38 results. That's pretty small for even like a local blog informational type site. These sites can very quickly get into the hundreds of articles. And I also went and did a domain authority checker. I'm using this free tool because I don't actually have any paid tools to do this because this isn't part of our normal process. Because for local search, I don't really care about domain authority. But if your goal is to be a local authority, then you're going to want strong local links, right? You'll want a local link from like the local newspapers, local news stations, television stations. Those types of local backlinks provide an enormous amount of authority to your site. And it looks like you don't have any of those links as of yet. So if you approached one of my clients and said, "Hey, do you want this link from my blog, What's Happening in Hawaii?" I would say, "Sure." And then if you said, "Okay, well, here's the price," I would say no. Like, I wouldn't pay for a link from this blog just yet. And that's because it doesn't have, at least from what I can see, the types of local high authority links that will make Google see this as a local authority website. So if I were in your shoes trying to build this blog with that business goal in mind, I would be reaching out to news stations, local magazines, yeah, local newspapers, all of these types of high authority local links. Try to get them to link back to your site, to write content about your site, anything like that. Be active on Facebook, be active on YouTube, be active on X, on Instagram, because again, a lot of that social media activity is what we would expect from a local authority site like this. And you can eventually, if you keep at it and work at it, build this website into something that Google's algorithm would see as a trusted local website. I don't know. Is that helpful? Is that what you were after?
Yes. I um I was thinking of helping other local chamber of commerce here update their website with something like this and to offer their members a link to their business.
Yeah, it could might be helpful, but my if I were trying to make this into a business, this website, then the first step is you just got to make this link worth something. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yes.
And that, I mean, it's not easy, right? There's a reason that there are not very many people who successfully create local business authority websites because it's not easy. Yeah. Um, so that's what I would suggest. That's how I would approach that. Okay, great. And then let's see. Michael Gleed, I think he's having trouble with the hand raising. No problem. Michael, what you got for me?
Hey, thanks for taking this. So I'm kind of new to your community, and I want to make sure that I'm doing a couple of things right. And you've mentioned a couple things that kind of concern me because the site I want to ask you about, and I'll put it in the chat. I'm in the dental, so all my clients are dentists or speech therapists, and I've been working on this site for a while. I'm ranking in some local like neighborhoods and stuff like that, but in the greater like San Antonio area, we're not ranking. And so what I wanted, and we have a lot of pages. I've changed some things around where like we're doing your core 30. We just finished up the core 30 on that. Updated the Google Business Profile to make sure we had everything in there. But we were doing a lot of blogging the wrong way, right? Like, yeah,
That,
after
I mean,
learning this.
that's what everyone does when they don't. I mean, I don't know how that got to be such a popular thing to do. It's anyway. Keep going.
But we changed the website structure, and so we put everything under categories that like general dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, restorative dentistry, emergency dentistry, and then we on those category pages we link out to the service pages. On the home page, we do have some of our main services on there, like Invisalign, dental crowns, veneers, implants, that type of thing. Um, but what I wanted to see is like so we added like related services within the service, right? So like Invisalign, we added the other cosmetic dentistry services as a related service. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about if you go to one of the like Invisalign, but some of it, but we also added um, one of another brand that we've been talking to help us rank asked, told us, hey, you need to do related articles, not as blog posts, but as articles. So we added, some related articles in there to go with them as well. So if you go to like services and then cosmetic dentistry, for example, this is kind of what, we do the little blurbs in there. If you go to Invisalign or
Sure. And then
veneers,
links to more details. Great. Yeah.
right. But if you go to Invisalign just for fun, go back up just a little bit because they're all in here right there. And if you scroll down by where the map embed is, right there, up just a little bit, right there. So see how we have related articles and then we have related services? Am I doing that right?
I mean, this is fine. This isn't usually how we would do it. I prefer the links to be, oh, that's a little fun thing. I prefer the links to be editorial, like in content links. So rather than just like a set of links, I want, if I want to link to porcelain veneers, then I would put some content on this page where it makes sense to link to porcelain veneers, and then I would put that link there.
So, so what I was taught
But
with this other group is that everything on this page is supposed to be about Invisalign. Like you keep it within its structure. I think you said that in
agreed.
one of your videos as well. So I didn't want to convolute it.
No, I agreed. I agree. Now, these are all in cosmetic dentistry, so they are
Correct.
related because they're all under the same category,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
Invisalign and veneers and all of this, they're all in the same category as cosmetic dentistry. So they
Correct.
are related and they are keeping everything into that same silo.
Okay.
But a lot of, ooh, I don't like how that does that, but that's fine. Um, anyway, I already told
Yeah.
Steve I don't like
The
accordions.
the
But
accordion.
when we have these FAQs, this is an excellent opportunity. So if you need more supporting content for Invisalign, and you probably do that, I'm sure that's a competitive search in San Antonio. How many
Right.
people in San Antonio? Like it's like 900,000, right? It's a
Right.
yeah. So this type of FAQ is where we would provide a short answer like this, and then we would link to a long form article that answers that in more detail, right? So, how much does Invisalign
Oh.
cost? Here's the quick answer. Then I'll have a link to an article that has 800, 900 words talking about how much does Invisalign cost.
Okay. So would that wouldn't be necessarily a blog article. That would be just a
I
regular page.
I don't care how on your website builder, whether you call it a blog or a page, or when I
Okay.
say that blogs are a waste of time, I don't mean blogs in terms of the actual structure on your website. What I mean is the type of content that people produce when they're writing a blog.
Okay,
So
I
I
got
don't
it.
care if it's on WordPress, I don't care if it's in pages or posts, if it's on some CRM, I don't care if it's in the blog section or the pages or the articles. It doesn't matter like the actual structure of it, just like the URL structure also doesn't really matter very much.
So one thing that we've been doing is we've been creating short little 30-second videos on FAQs that go on YouTube. Would it be good to have like a section like that or an actual editorial?
If you have the videos, post the video and then also post the content, right?
Okay.
Google's algorithm can't watch YouTube videos.
Right.
So yeah, if you have the video integrating, like embedding the YouTube video, we've seen that help. So I would definitely do that if you're already doing the videos, but also make sure you write the content. But if I look at your rank map,
It's
this is pretty
bad.
discouraging, Michael.
Yeah, I know.
Now, the good
And
news is you are ranked in your lobby, so it could be worse.
it's
Uh,
I've been working on this for a year and I have not been able to get this going. And I just don't like with this site in particular. This is like the only site that I have not been able to get in there. Like
yeah, and it's a big site,
happily.
400 indexed results.
Right.
So I don't know how, let's see. Let's see how big are your top competitors here. Usually when I see a rank map that looks like that with red everywhere, but honestly, this is the number one performing space. So this could just be like a very, very competitive space, right?
Right.
Where you're just not going to get green everywhere like we saw for the gutter cleaner in Nottingham. But obviously, you'd be pretty happy with this result compared to where we're at.
Right.
So this is the number one guy. Let's see how big his website is. 42.
Right.
This is a franchise, so that's going to be huge. Okay, and this is another local site. 53. Yeah. So more content is not going to fix your problem, right?
Right.
Your site's already way, way too big.
Now,
So my usually when we see a site this big that's ranking very poorly, that's almost always a result of ongoing blog production. And the blog topics aren't focused on building the kinds of topical and geographical relevance that really moves the needle in ranking. So what we will typically do, and these are more expensive clients because unfortunately we can't just crank out content and have them rank higher. We have to
right.
fix what's been done first. So that's where we'll usually start, is fixing what's been done first. Now, what place is 16th? I just want to pull your rank map up again.
So one thing I'll say is like for most of this year, we've structured the blog articles under different silos, right? Either, emergency dental, dental implants, veneers. So they're all siloed under that. We're not writing random ones, but I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. So the approach that we would take when we see, I'm trying to, yeah, your 83rd is average ranking. Oh, well, that's why we're not seeing it. Let's rank by top third, then you're 16th. I can't find it. No problem. I should be able to just click somewhere and pull it up again. Whatever. So anyway, you saw what it was. It was the one green
Yeah.
dot and then immediately red 20s everywhere. So when we see a rank map that looks like that with 400 indexed URLs, then the goal, the focus that we would have is on reducing the size of the website, especially when we see, hey, the top three performers in that space for that keyword have 1/10 the size of the website as what you do. So we would go in there and we would start combining, merging, pruning, deleting. Like we're like, okay, I want that website to be 60 or 70 pages. And I'm just going to start deleting content until we get there. The content that I can, I'll combine and talk. I'll focus on a specific target keyword, right? Whether it be topical relevance or geographical relevance. If I have a bunch of backlinks built to these articles, then I'm going to do a 301 redirect so that they don't lose the backlinks or things like that. But this is just an example of a website that, there are probably 300 of those URLs need to be removed, and you'll actually see your ranking get better.
Okay.
And it
Wait,
is
so
unfortunately incredibly time consuming to do that correctly.
right.
Like writing content is much faster and easier than taking existing content and, dealing with it and deleting it
Is the
and
best
trying to
way just
merge
to
it.
throw it to like a 301 redirect to the main
No.
thing? 'Cause-
So every time we delete or edit a page or something like that, um, we're going to put a 301 redirect in, but we want to redirect it to a different URL that's highly relevant for the one that was removed.
oh,
Right.
okay.
So for some random blog post about Invisalign, then we would 301 redirect that maybe to the Invisalign service page, or if there's a different, like if you have 4 blog posts and they're all about how much does Invisalign cost, well, we can merge that into one blog post, and then the other 3 URLs will 301 redirect into the one that's still living.
Got
Right.
it.
because the problem is if you put them all to the homepage, you end up losing a lot of relevance. Because
Right.
now all those links that used to be pointed to relevant pages are now just all hitting your homepage.
Okay. Well, so last thing, actually two things. So we're getting like they're now after watching all your videos and everything, they're going to start getting the Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club. They're going
And
to
that's what I
start
was going to say
sponsoring.
is like to start joining a lot of those other local organizations.
Right.
Yeah.
So they are going to be doing that. On the so I'm building these as, we have our money pages and then we have the other from the core 30s, the core 30 pages. I'm not adding a lot of images and just it's more like just it's got some design in it, but there aren't a lot of images. You have the hero image, you have I used your prompt to write the articles, and then it's got the call to actions, the maps, and all that stuff in there. Do we need to do more with it, or is that
Usually we'll do like an image every 300 or 400 words.
okay?
At least. And when I look at the website, like this type of design, right? We have a hero image, then we have some information, and now we're gonna jump back and forth, right? Where we break up the content. Like this
Uh-huh.
is exactly how we typically will do it. So I don't want like, you
Well,
know,
if you go down and jump to one of those related articles or related services, yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
yeah. So I would want this to look more like this.
Okay.
Now, if they're getting indexed, then it's less important. But we've just had a lot of trouble getting Google to index stuff like this. Um,
They are getting indexed.
yeah, and that particular page was indexed. Uh, yeah, so I mean, you could be fine, but like we've just had so much better result with
More
pages that
images.
actually look designed. Because the problem, right, the problem with a page like this is you could have generated 10,000 of these in 5 minutes with a WordPress plugin that has an open AI API connection,
Right.
right? There's no reason for Google to trust that that a human has ever looked at this just because it looks so generic.
Right, right.
Whereas this has been edited, right? This looks like a developer touched it. It looks like somebody cares about it enough to put the work and time in. This
Got it.
looks like, hey, I'm throwing this up to hope I can rank better.
Okay. Do. Here's my last question because I'm getting ready. I'm new to your regular community. I'm getting ready to join the pro. Does that does the $27 or whatever I'm paying right now, does that just get applied to the pro?
No, so the way that it works, because school is sometimes quite frustrating, is join pro, and then you can send me a message, and I will re-invite you to join the $27 community at no charge.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it's unfortunately it's manual, and then but yeah, so that's how we do it. So it's a manual process, but yeah, if you send me a message, we'll definitely take care of that. No problem.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Michael. All right, let's see. Marcus Sheridan. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. All right. Joe Stewart, new to the group. Welcome, welcome. Can we review your site? Sure. We'll take a look. You're next.
Thank you.
Uh, what's that? Did somebody say something?
Oh, I was just saying thank you.
Oh, Joe Stewart was talking. Well, that makes sense since we're talking
Yes.
about your website.
Yeah. So
Uh,
this is a site that I recently converted from WordPress for a bunch of factors that are probably not important. I just wanted to move into
where
a new
was it?
stack. It was previously in WordPress.
Oh, and
Uh,
where is it now?
it's now we're using like Vite React
Cool.
type of processes. I like tinkering with code a little bit more than say just putting up a WordPress. So
Yeah. So
we're
so one thing that we talk about fairly frequently, right, is Google doesn't like change. And I have seen on many, many occasions where we take a website and we move it to a different platform. We keep all the content the same. We keep all the images the same. We keep the layout and format the same. And when we launch the new website, we lose rank anyway. Just in
Hmm.
general, Google does not like things changing. So
Makes sense.
whenever we're changing platforms, updating websites, things like that, I'm always going to encourage the client to not do that unless
Makes
there's a
sense.
really strong reason if they're already ranking. So anyway, that's just a general thing. I
Okay.
don't see any phone number or anything
That's a
on
far
here.
bottom.
There it is.
Should have been there, yeah.
Yeah, I like a phone number on top, but that's fine. I'm just going to see if I
Okay.
can find your GBP.
I
There you are. Is
recently
this it?
removed it. No, that's the issue. The gentleman has two sides. So if you go and you look under Jersey Dumpster Rental uh on G, so he essentially, I've told him we have to separate things. So it's the same LLC. It seems like he's just separating with DBAs.
Right, which is fine, but the phone number needs to match, right? So just get another phone
Yes.
number. He can get one. So I know a
I
lot
told him
of
a Google Voice.
yeah, I know a lot of local businesses don't like their marketers getting them a phone number because then if they fire you for whatever reason, they lose it. So but he can go get his own. It doesn't need to be Google Voice, but that's fine. There's 100 different
Mhm.
places that he can go and get it, and it's like $10 a month or something.
Got it.
So very inexpensive to get a unique phone number for this business. Every GVP needs a unique phone number.
Got it. Yes, I'm just editing, so as you can see, certain areas of it is not
Is it this one here,
working.
New
So
Jersey
no,
Dumpster
it's
Rental?
not. Jersey dumpster rental, so it's probably going to be lower. Seems like a very competitive market. I've never really, yeah, we're not even like listed there. If I can probably send the link to it, but yeah, the space seems flooded, and it seems like even I was looking at.
Is it any of these?
Let me see. Sorry, I just moved away. The third one, Jersey dumpster rental and disposal. I've been trying to get him to organize things a little bit better, but he's not interested in moving or following that advice. So I'm kind of just running with what I have.
Yeah, and that so agreed. And one of the things that we'll do with clients is we'll make sure that we have them add us as a manager to our to their GVP, and then that gives us the ability to make the changes. Obviously, we're going to get the client's approval first, but then we can
Mhm.
make the changes instead of waiting for them to. Yeah, man. I mean, this looks great. What's your problem?
Well, my problem is that we live in a rural area. So, for example, this specific area, we're not going to have much of a population. That Evesham side, that West Berlin, that Voorhees like area, that is where we need to go. Like we're looking at like 13K versus 1,000 in that, like where we're currently at. So that Evesham, Voorhees, that's the area that we really want to target. That Cherry Hill, that Morristown,
Over here.
yeah, like all of those areas, those are the most important. That's where he's going to get his business. Like where we're at right now, it's like you're talking about farms versus the city.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's going to be tough because remember we talked about
Location.
how important proximity is. It's a
Hmm.
very important rank factor. And on top of that, if the city changes, so you're in Chemung, New Jersey,
Yep.
so when the city name changes, it gets so much harder to rank there.
See,
Uh,
that's
yeah. So if I see a rank map that looks like this, where you go from position 1 to like 20 over a few miles, that's usually a sign that it's not going to happen. Now, that being said, I just pulled up Robinson Waste and they did it. So this tells me that this is possible, right?
mhm,
That we can rank. So there, it looks like they're probably over here, if I had to guess. And then they
quite
push all the way.
possibly.
And
And they have an older domain too, I'm sure. But like you mentioned earlier, it's not so much of a factor after 3 to 6 months.
yeah, a lot of these are actually located near where you want to be. Because even Robinson Race, if I look at where the ones are, he's probably over here and then just sort of bleeding out, which
Hmm.
sort of makes sense, right? Because there's essentially no competition out here. Um, so you could try to work to push in this way, but because proximity is so important, I mean, like, what's the distance from here to here? What?
It's literally about probably 13 miles. Like
Yeah.
it's very, very short. And yeah.
No. 13 miles is huge. 13 miles
Is
is
it?
huge. Yeah. So if I want to, like, what address is your city? Philadelphia,
Well, we're in,
Philadelphia
yeah, like we're
to
on the suburbs.
Shamong.
Yeah. So Philadelphia to Chemung is about an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. That's going to be really, really hard to rank that.
Yep. So I end up with duds because in terms of like it's harder to get leads because of like where we're at right now, and I'm trying to see how can we get leads from those areas that actually have people.
Yeah, so it's not that the area is competitive. That's not the issue that you're
Okay.
having. The issue that you're having is your GBP is too far away from where you want to rank, right? So if I look at the three that are ranking very well, um, we have Robinson Waste, and they don't have a website.
I
Daisy
think they
Disposal,
may, and it's not that good, but yeah, it's ranking though.
no, it's ranking, right? So
Yeah,
the top two of the top three don't have a website, and your third one,
yeah,
that's not what
that's a
it's
pretty
doing.
big.
I mean, this looks like a real company, and they have
Yeah.
26 pages. So
Yep.
these aren't big websites. Yeah, you're at 75. So it's the same type of thing that we talked about with the other ones, but a little bit different. I would say based on the size of your website, how much you're struggling to push west, the location of the competitors who are ranking well where you want to be. If I were speaking to your client and saying, okay, if you want to get leads from this western part of this rank map, then there are two things that you should think about doing. One is running ads, because you can link ads up local service. I don't know if dumpster rentals has local service ads, but you can link ads up to the GBP and run GBP ads in those areas. That's one option.
Interesting.
And the second option would be to get another GBP closer to where they actually want to rank. Fighting to get that location from 30 miles away, that's going to be tough. That's going to be really, really tough to rank that, Joe.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll continue exploring and pushing him in the right direction. It's sometimes like really hard. People are stuck in their ways, and you definitely want to look out for them and get them where they need to go. But yeah, the
Yeah, I mean,
location.
how much is a dumpster rental client worth for him?
It's starting at $445, and then I went ahead and I tried to do like advertisement to see what that would work out, and I was already at $8. You can't get a lead. I'm not even like listed at $8, so it seems like the other
Yeah, I don't
duff
know anything
companies
about
are much
Google
higher.
Ads. I don't know anything about
Yes.
Google Ads, so that's not what I'm talking about. But so if you're at 400 bucks a dumpster, I mean, if you looked for office space in like Audubon or Haddonfield, any of these Berlin, any of these larger suburbs, and you look for like a small office space that you could rent, you can get signage
Yep.
made at Vistaprint, get business cards made, sign the office space agreement in the business name.
Hmm.
Then you'll be able to record your GBP video verification,
That's what I was
get a
looking at.
GBP there,
Yep.
and almost the day after that GBP is created, it will rank better in Berlin than the GBP that you've been working on,
Right.
just
So
because of
Berlin is a
how
good
much
place, you
closer
think?
it
The
is.
proximity in that area seems like it's next to all the other places that we want to get to.
And that's exactly. And I've had that conversation with a lot of clients. Like, look, if you want to rank 20 miles
Hmm.
away, then we need to get a GBP 20 miles away.
Right.
Like just
Is
ranking
it?
a GBP that far. I've only seen it done in spaces where there is almost no competition. If there's
Hmm.
5 dumpster rentals between you and this other guy, and or yeah, between you and the searcher, and all 5 of those are closer to the searcher than you are, I mean, you're going to need so much trust and authority to get Google to recommend your business over the ones that are closer. Because for local
Hmm.
search, Google cares so much about proximity. So
Right.
that's it. And my proposal to this client would be, look, you're making 400 bucks a dumpster. If we can get 1 or 2 people to rent a dumpster from you, because commercial office space is not expensive right now. And
No.
I don't know this area very well, but I have found small offices for rent in like downtown Denver for $400 a month. You can
Yeah.
probably find like 100 square feet in these Philly outer suburbs for a couple
Yep.
$100 a month.
I actually found something in a very prominent area. I don't mean to take up a lot of time, but I found
No,
something in
you're
a
fine.
prominent area, probably under $50 a month. You can use their address for GBP and all that stuff right on Cherry Hill, which is where everyone is. So I was thinking of using it for my business because I'm also in Chemung, so I have the same trouble with the clients. So like I figured that would be a good area. So that confirms what I was thinking. So thank you so much for hearing me out.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And proximity is important. Now, if it is just one address and they allow anyone to register a bunch of GBPs there, there is a limit to how many GBPs Google will allow at the
Mm-hmm.
same address. They'll still tell you that the GBP is verified. They just won't
Mm-hmm.
rank it for anything
Got
except the
it.
name. And then the other aspect, if it's a shared space, Google has a bunch of rules for their terms and conditions, so you can read about that and see if they qualify or not. But beyond all of Google's rules for a shared space like that, the other aspect is if it's the same or a very similar primary category, Google will only show one at that
One at that.
address.
Got it.
So before you sign up at an address like that, just make sure how many GBPs are there. If it's more than a
Got
couple of
it.
dozen, then you're probably going to struggle. And even if it's only a handful, then the question is what primary categories are there? Because if they're very similar to what you want to do, it's not going to work either.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for that. I'll continue to digging on that, and next month I'll come up with an update to see if something
Awesome.
changes. Thank you,
I'll,
guys.
I'll look forward to
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Joe.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, I was
And
having a question, Salib, if you don't mind.
sure,
And
George.
George.
I was going to ask you next because you're the next one, and I think after you,
Okay.
we'll call it depending on how in depth your question is.
Sure. Actually, I was having right now so far the lead snap, software, and I think I am on the second month, and so far only I got only 6 live citations out of 24 or something after 40 days. Do you think is anything wrong or?
Yeah. So the first thing that I would say is I don't provide support for third-party
Yeah.
tools. So I don't work for LeadSnap, so I can't
Yeah.
say for sure what might be going on. That
Yeah.
being said, that is a fairly common question. Usually, what happens and if I look at the citations, um,
Maybe
I
because I'm in Greece, for my client is in
no,
Greece,
no, no, no,
maybe
no.
the
So
citation.
what happens is, LeadSnap has API connections to. I'll, I'm trying to speak and then also find this business at the same time. So LeadSnap has API connections um, to these business citations. So yeah, okay. Just making sure. Okay, good. So let me share. Um, so this is what it looks like. So they have 51 listings, 23 live, 19 submitted, 7 updating, and 1 action required. Now I have looked at this client and I know that they are basically done. There's nothing for me to do here. So the 23 that are live, they have two-way API communication with LeadSnap. So LeadSnap said, "Hey, post this listing," and then after the platform posted the listing, it sent a message back to LeadSnap saying, "Hey, it's posted." So then it went from submitted to live. These
Yeah.
19 under submitted, they don't have two-way. So LeadSnap says, "Hey, post this citation." They don't have two-way, so they're never going to tell LeadSnap that they received it and posted it. So what you have to do is select the ones that were submitted and then go and look at that citation and see if it's live. Same thing with updating, same thing with action required. So
So
usually that
yeah.
picture, 51 listings, 23 live, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, those are done. That's always going to look like that because those other platforms don't have the two-way communication to tell LeadSnap that the citations are live.
So yeah, in my case, I guess the live counter it was way too low. So yeah, I was started to worrying about it. after a
Yeah,
point.
and you can go and you can go and look at the citations, and you can manually go and visit them and look at them and
Mm.
see if they're live or not.
Yeah. Actually, another question that I had, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, how we can better address the local proximity. I mean the local relevance with the GBP and the website when we have a restaurant website, because sometimes GBP doesn't accept services and we have to do a lot of tweaks and add other things just to look like services inside the GBP in order to be related with the website content.
Yeah, so I know that Google does have a guide for how restaurants should do it. Um, so I guess, yeah, right? I've seen Google guides for how to do GBPs for restaurants. So what was the question that you had?
I mean, yeah, we said that inside the course that we need to be to create a relation from with the GBP to the website. So I guess subcategories and services. So services, since we don't have services in GBP, yeah, how we can make that connection between GBP and website.
Yeah. So for a restaurant, a lot of that is just going to be content about the food, the type of cuisine. So I know that you end up with a lot of menu items, and a lot of restaurants will put the specific menu items on their GBP as services or as products. And then you can create that same agreement with your GBP that you have with your website.
Yeah, by the way, those they are changed a lot of times within the year since the seasonality comes and goes.
Sure.
So they will not be constant there.
Sure. Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I have to redo all the categories in the website ever since we ever changed the some dishes. That's kind of
No,
a
no, no. I'm not saying that you need it to like be every single dish that's on the menu needs to be a product or service, right? But you can have like different sections of the menu on there. You can talk about the overall type of food or types of cuisine. You can be a little more general rather than like talking about individual named dishes, right?
Yeah, got it. Or maybe I guess I could add some services or some activities. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Just to add some activities as if they are services inside the GBP.
Say it again.
I guess can I add some activities inside the GBP so they can look like services so I can then uh, add similar services inside the website to make
Yeah,
the
so I'm not
connection.
gonna, I can't give you like super specific advice for what to do with the restaurant.
Mm.
I've had restaurants as clients, but it's been a minute, so I'm not like off the top of my head. We don't focus on restaurants very closely as a client base. I would definitely take a look at Google's guidelines for how a restaurant should manage their GBP because I
Mm.
know that Google has pretty good guidelines about that.
Yeah, got it. Makes sense. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay,
All right.
great. I guess. Yeah. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, George. I hate to talk about things that I'm not like super familiar with.
Yeah, no worries. I totally understand and appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Actually, and Sean provided a link to a Google support article that does it. And yeah, I mean, there actually are quite a few guidelines on exactly how to handle your GBP with the restaurant. And yeah, part of the focus, just keep in mind, right? When you add things to your GBP, just make sure it's consistent with what you're adding onto your website itself. And that goes so far. Most restaurant websites are, frankly terrible.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Let's see. And I guess the last one, Dino's Dent Repair. All right, Dino. Are you still here, Dino?
Sir, can you hear me?
I can. You're right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted to kind of give you a background. I'm a novice at SEO, and
hey,
uh,
you're looking pretty good, right? This is dent repair near me.
are you serious? Because
That ain't bad, man.
my website, I built it before, but I had no idea what I was doing. There's not even meta descriptions in there or anything.
Right. So meta descriptions aren't a ranking factor,
Okay.
especially for local. We still put them in because it's good to have them, but they're not super important. The biggest issue that jumps out is your phone number is your title tag. So I would definitely update your title tag to
Okay.
be,
Title
you
tag.
know, dent repair, round rock or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Because you are using dent removal service specialist. So you are
That's the
using,
primary. I just put that in a couple days ago
I was going to say, you are using your primary category city name as the H1. Perfect. I want to see that in your title tag.
in the title tag. Okay. Title tag. And I
Yeah,
have,
4.9 reviews, 388. I mean, that's pretty solid, man.
yeah,
People like your work. And look, yeah, you're ranked number one, according to top 3% on this map.
that's weird because I had did the subscription for, I don't know what you call it, where they just let you do it for 7 days, and
Hmm.
it was 20 when I put my business in there. So hey, this
I
is
mean,
the
I don't
weird.
know. So the keyword I ran was dent repair near me. I don't know if you ran a different keyword or something.
Oh, okay, that might have been it. I think I put mobile dent repair because I am mainly mobile.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people would actually search for mobile dent repair. Like if I had a
Okay,
dent in my car, I would search for dent repair near me or something like
okay,
that.
gotcha. Okay, well, because my website, so it is matching with the GMB then? Everything is okay? I mean,
Well, your H1 is your title tag should be updated. It's pretty small. You only have 6 pages, so it's a very, very small website. But I mean, again, you're ranking pretty well, so I wouldn't stress too much about that. If your goal, like if we were like, okay, so this looks pretty good, but let's see if we can push a little bit toward the south and west here.
mhm,
Then what I would be looking to do, like if I use, gosh dang it, if I use this number four, like this area as example, like I really want this to be in the top three also. We have
mhm.
Stony Brook, we have Indian Ridge, we have Eagle Ridge, Meadow Lake, Round Rock Glen, Oakmont Center. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 articles right there that I could write. And just to like, I'm gonna write so the target keyword, I'll do it here so you can see it. I would do something like dent repair in round or let me I forget the Stony Brook. In Stony Brook, and then what city are you located in again? Round Rock?
Yes,
Sorry?
Round Rock, Texas, but I'm
Round
seeing
Rock.
it says Williamson County on there. Hmm,
All right. So, and I know it's long, but something like this would be the target keyword that I would write that article with. And
okay,
there's a prompt in the modern SEO section that will have this content written for you
okay.
and also include driving directions from your GBP to Stony Brook. Talk about how you drive to Stony Brook all the time. You have a mobile dent repair vehicle, facility, equipment. You drive out there and you fix dents, and man, you love Stony Brook, and it's like your favorite place to visit. And you love it when people call you from Stony Brook. And here's the route that you would take to get to Stony Brook. And here are the before and after photos from dents that you fixed in Stony Brook. The goal of this article is to convince Google that you come to Stony Brook to do dent repair. That's what you're trying to convince Google. That's the goal of this article is to convince Google that Dino will come to you if you live in Stony Brook and fix your dents.
So this is my because I'm not familiar with website building either, but I'm trying to understand the structure. So all of it is going to be on the home page, and then you're going to build on the nav bar different service pages. Is that how that works?
Yeah,
Because I
so the way that I would
have
do it,
no content on there really.
oh, this is a nice, is this a Continental or a Flying Spur?
That's not a real picture.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Um, hey, and there you are. Okay, so what what I would do with a website like this, and normally I'd have a bunch of feedback on this homepage, but man, at the end of the day, you're ranking, right? So shut up, Caleb. Um, so, I mean, you can put it under news. It doesn't really matter. You can put
Okay.
like a locations up here if you want. You can put it on the footer. That might be a good one to have like a locations button on the footer. And then that locations page, you'll just basically have a list of all of the, like you'll have a location and it'll say like Stony Brook. And then that will be a link to this article that I'm talking about that just talks about how much you love fixing dents in Stony Brook. Am I
So
making
what
sense with
would I
that?
get? The article that I create, I attach it to what, the homepage, or
Yeah,
that's
so
what
then
I'm
your
not
article
understanding.
about Stony Brook dent repair, that
Okay,
article will have a link back to your homepage.
okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
But your homepage will not have a link directly to the Stony Brook article. That will be too many homepage links. So you'll
Okay.
put like one page in between. So you'll put a link down here for locations or something. So in the footer, and then I'd click on the locations and I don't know if you remember the website that we looked at, Steven's website,
Mhm.
which was, see, I can't remember. It was too long ago. It wasn't
Gutter
that.
cleaned.
Yeah, gutter clean. That's it. Gutter clean. Gutter clean Nottingham. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So what Steven has done here, which is quite nice, right? So if I go to this locations page,
Okay,
this is what your locations page will end up looking like,
okay,
right? Except instead of Nottingham, this would say Stony Brook.
okay.
And
So,
then
so don't have a whole bunch of different location pages. Have one page with a lot of locations on it, like this layout here.
but then each one of these is going to have a link to a detailed page about that location.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah. So if
gotcha.
I go here, we'll do ah, get out of here. Get out of there. What do I want? What do I want? I'm trying to here, let me figure this out without sharing so that I can poke around. Um, so what I want to do, there we go, collapse. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So I'll show you. So neighborhood page outline. Okay, so then we'll come back and we'll share. Okay, now, city state, we said Round Rock, Texas, right? Round
That's
Rock, Texas. And the primary category, what is it? Mobile dent repair?
uh, yeah, or paintless dent repair.
Paintless dent repair. Paintless dent repair. And I put my target keyword right there. Boom. And let's see. Let's see if this will work.
So do you recommend using Claude over any of them, or should you use Gemini since it's Google?
Claude is usually the one that we use. I've
Yeah.
heard from other people that they've had a lot of success with Gemini.
Mhm.
But personally, I like Claude. I like the quality of the output.
Okay.
And yeah, so okay, so it's giving me this outline, which is excellent. So now I'll put my writing prompt in. It's the same one I showed you guys before. And then I'm going to put, as soon as it finishes. Yeah, so one of the reasons that I like Claude
Mhm.
is it was trained differently than GPT-5. So GPT-5 was basically trained on the entire internet. And I don't know, Dino, if you've been on the internet recently, but there's a lot of crap on the internet.
Yeah.
So when you train an LLM on the entire internet, you end up with a lot of crap. So there's this massive effort that OpenAI did that's called RHLF, which is basically a fancy way to say before GPT-5 was released, they had it trained, and then they had a bunch of contractors running the model and then telling it which response was better in order to try to get it to not, say a bunch of misogynistic, racist things immediately because it was trained on the internet. The result of that is GPT-5 can be very syncopathetic, where it basically is, blowing smoke up your ass and trying to make you really happy. So we don't really want to do that. And Claude was not trained like that. Claude was trained on a much, much smaller, higher quality data set.
Okay.
And Claude has an internal architecture where it will double check itself before it produces a response.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's still not perfect, of course, but I find that Claude's output to be higher quality than GPT-5's output. We're just going to give it some info, Dino's dent, address, great, primary category. I should be able to see.
Mobile service, I think it is.
Oh, no problem. Primary category, paintless dent repair we said before. And it wants the About Us page content. See how like I trained it well. Do you have an about? You do. Excellent. We'll copy that. About content pasted. Driving directions. Oops. No problem. We'll see what it does. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So now it's writing. So then this will produce the type of content, and it's asking for approval every way. So expert dent repair near Stony Brook keeps Round Rock cars looking sharp. So we have dent repair, we have Stony Brook, and we have Round Rock all in the H1. Thumbs up. That's what we want to see. And then we're going to describe where Stony Brook is. Great.
Okay.
Newer homes built. So this is just a lot of like really local detailed information that Google's algorithm just loves, right? Because this convinces Google's algorithm that you're a local since you're talking about this neighborhood with such specificity. Yeah, and then we provide dent repair. Great. So then we would say move on. And yeah, it would eventually just write the whole article like this, which I won't do because that gets boring quickly. Yeah, we diagnose dents right in your driveway. You don't need to go anywhere. It's mobile, blah, blah, blah. So this type of content then this is what we would call geographical content.
Geographical content, and then you would put a photograph next to it or something?
Every one of these blocks of text, we'd have a photo with it. Yeah, you remember the dental website that we went over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It
what we
looks
want to
more
see. Well, a
clean
block
and
of text
separated.
photo, block of text photo.
Yeah, it kind of looks cleaner and it looks more easy to be visible.
Exactly. And you have a ton of photos, I'm sure. You can use them. If you don't, AI can generate them.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I'm still figuring it out, but
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully that was helpful.
yeah, it was that you did the actual demonstration really helped out a lot.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Dino. All right. Awesome. Got some great. Okay, good. Well, it is 2:34. I got to go pick my kids up from school. So that's our back end. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I appreciate it. In the interim, over the next month, if you have any other questions, put them in the group. I read most of what's posted in there. Elliot does an awesome job of responding. You can send me a message. That's fine too. I try to get back to everyone who sends me messages. And otherwise, I will look forward to seeing you guys here next month, which will be December 1st. How hard is that to believe that our next meeting is December? Insane. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for coming. And we will see you next month.